One of the types of debt that I typically talk about in class is college debt. However, due to the time restraints we have, given the current circumstances in learning online, I am not going to devote a lesson to it. So I did have a student inquire about some information regarding debt when you go to college. So I decided to make this little video, and hopefully it will answer some of your questions. I'm sure it won't answer all of them, and I am no expert by any means in this topic. But I always share with students the understanding of the FAFSA. So when you apply for college, you will fill out a financial document, and using this document, the colleges and the government will determine how much assistance you will get to go to college. Now, here's where my little lecture comes in. So when you're picking your college, you should be picking your college on two factors. Which one is going to give you the best education in the field that you want? And number two, which college can you afford? I always use the example of me as a teacher. It would not have been worth it for me to pay the money to go to Harvard to be a teacher. State schools provide just as good of education for teachers as Harvard would. A lot of times people get caught up in private schools. Oh, well, this private school will help me get a job faster. Do you know that for certainty? So just be very careful, be smart, go with what you can afford, because college debt when you come out of college can be extremely high. So I will do a two-part video. I will do this video and then I'll make another one that shows a little calculator that we typically used in class to figure out your debt. So what you see in front of you is loan disclosure paper. I shouldn't say loan disclosure, financial disclosure for this particular college. They will not necessarily always look the same. However, the concepts will be very similar. So we're going to start up here, and I am not sure if you can see my cursor or not. This is my first time using this program. But up here at the very top, it says costs in 2017-2018. So here they're breaking down everything you have to pay for. So tuition, you have your housing, which is your room, your meals. Books are very expensive. I'm not sure why they have transportation in there, but there are your costs. Very expensive for 1 year. You would have to take that times 4 to figure out exactly how much it would cost you. The next part are grants and scholarships. Grants and scholarships are huge. This is free money, okay? You know, what I tell students all the time, and it's a little late for some of you, but juniors especially, your junior, senior year, your job should be looking for scholarships. There are so many scholarships out there available for kids, not just our local. Our kids tend to just apply for the local scholarships. There are huge grants and scholarships out there from across the states. We had Marissa Whitmer, I think it was her name. She got a $15,000 scholarship from Coca-Cola. I think it was Coca-Cola. $15,000. So, you know, unfortunately for my daughter, or fortunately, depending on who you are, her or me, when she is in her junior, senior year in high school, she will be doing everything she can to keep filling out scholarship forms. Another example, this is when I tell a lot of stories. Another example is students will say to me, but I only got a $500 scholarship. And I'll say, well, how many scholarships did you fill out? He said, well, I filled out 5. So let's look at it this way. If you filled out 5 scholarships, and if it took you an hour for each scholarship, which I doubt it did, that's 5 hours. 5 hours into the one scholarship you got for $500 means you made $100 an hour while filling out those applications. That's not too bad. So any free money you can get is great. Moving on down, there's a part that says federal work study. This is issued. This means you can work on college campuses. It's based on financial need, and it would pop up and show you whether or not you qualify. When I was in college, I qualified based on financial need to work on campus, and I worked in an office. It was great. I reported 3 days a week. I put in my hours. I didn't have to work weekends or evenings because it was in an office setting, and I was able to make some money to help with college. The next part, moving down, is loan options. I am certain Perkin loans are no longer available. So we'll look at the next two. You have federal direct subsidized loans and federal direct unsubsidized loans. And people get confused on the difference. So basically they're saying that the federal government is going to give you loans, in this case, not looking at the Perkins, for $5,500. So you've already been giving loans based on that. The difference between a subsidized and an unsubsidized is important to know. So a subsidized loan means you do not have to pay anything towards this loan while you're in college. So again, that's the subsidized, the $3,500. You will just keep each year trying to get more money. Every year you have to refill, update your FAFSA, and they'll determine, will you get $35 every year? It's hard to say. But that will keep growing and adding on to it. So 35 plus 35, that means after 2 years, you have a $7,000 loan. You get the idea. This money right here, the $3,500, you do not pay interest on. You do not pay anything towards this loan until you graduate from college. However, the direct unsubsidized loan, this one here, the $2,000, as soon as you take that loan, you will be required to start paying interest on it, and you will get a statement saying what you have to pay. It will be a small amount, but please be prepared that you may have to pay $15 a month. As that amount grows, maybe it's $50 a month, but you will have to pay the interest on this last loan during your college years. Now, the last and final part, and this is the part most students do not understand, and I'm going to zoom in. At the bottom of your FAFSA, or typically at the bottom of your statement from the college or from FAFSA, there will be an amount, and it will say family contribution. So after taking the cost, taking what the college is willing to give you, taking out federal grants, taking out the loans you were given, they are saying that your family or you needs to come up with $15,000 a year. How are you going to get that? Do you have cash? Did your family save up money to send you to college? If so, you can pay for it that way. If not, your family, your parents would have to take out a loan, or you would have to take out a loan to be able to pay this $15,000. Where do you get those loans? You can go to your bank and try to get a loan. There's different avenues out there to apply to get college loans, so you would have to start digging into that. But you do need to figure out how you're going to come up with that $15,000. So this is where it's important to start thinking about this, and they list some here, different ways you could do it, and you can start researching that. So I wanted to go over with you how to interpret a financial aid letter, whether it be from the college or from FAFSA. I wanted to encourage you to think really hard about where you want to go to college. Is it worth the amount of money you will pay? And keep in mind that loans have to be paid back. So I hope this was helpful. I will do a part 2 that shows you how to do calculations. You can email me questions, but again, I'm sharing with you my most, my most knowledge on this topic, having not gone through it in a very long time. But here's what I do want you to know. Anyone can go to college. Do not allow your income level to prevent you from going to college. It just may mean you pick a different college, or it may mean you work while you're in college. It's easy to do. It's easy to work while you're in college. One last lecture. You take classes, usually 15 hours is what they call it. You get 15 credits, 1 hour per credit. You take 15 hours of classes a week. Guys, you come to school at 7:30 in the morning and leave at 3 o'clock, okay? You're going to have more time. You've got to manage your time. It's the people who don't manage their time who say, oh, I could never work a job. Yeah, because they're busy playing video games or going to the gym and working out or hanging out with their buddies or whatever the case may be. So you can work a part-time job while you are going to college. It just means you need to manage your time well so you can still get your college work done and still work at the same time. I hope this was helpful. See you guys.